Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well tonight. This is Anthony Gasikia. Um, the reason why we're doing this video, excuse me, is because of the parole in place going on, and there have been some misunderstanding about what that it is about. We have seen many people asking, wondering that they have been in this country forever and whether the power in place concern them, what is it for them. Biden is giving paper to everyone. When am I going to get mine? Am I qualified? So the issue of the power in place is very simple, and I believe in the previous video that we did in English, we talked about it, but we still need to talk about it again since it started on Monday, 2 days ago, which is Monday, August the 19th, 2024. I'm just trying to put the date in context. So basically, the parole in place is not a green card, is not a travel document, is not a working authorization. None of all this. I will repeat. The parole in place is not a green card, is not application for a green card, it is not a work permit, it's not, neither is it a travel document. However, the parole in place is just an I-94. The parole in place is just an I-94. So, why is it an I-94? There are people who came to the United States long time ago, but they did not come through the proper channel. The proper channel for coming to the United States is to go to the consular officer and apply for visa and fly in and be inspected at the border. When you are inspected at the border, they issue you a document called I-94. So I-94 is the record of entry, record of arrival into the United States. That's what I-94 is. Now, the law of the United States, in order to discourage illegal entry, says if you do not have an I-94, that means you are not properly admitted into the United States. That means you cannot adjust your status here. Except some people who have been paroled into the United States. So in order for you to be able to adjust your status, you must be admitted or you must be paroled into the United States. Now, because those people enter the way they enter, they have not been able to adjust their status. The current law requires them to leave the United States, get out, request a provisional waiver, and then go home to their home country and come back so that they can come back legally. That's what the law requires. So many people have not been able to adjust their status, and they are in this type of situation because they do not want to take the risk of leaving the United States and come back. They do not want to take that risk. And because they don't want to take that risk, they have been here they are qualified to adjust the status otherwise, if not because of this issue. So the US government is now saying that, okay, we understand you and we want to help you out. We are not giving you a green card. We are not giving you a travel document. We are not giving you a work permit, but we are giving you an I-94, something that will replace the I-94 that you did not get in the beginning when you are coming here. So we're going to give you, rather than getting out and be paroled back in, we are going to do a parole in place for you. That's why it's called parole in place. So you are going to get that parole here in the United States. You do not need to go out of the United States before you can now adjust your status. That's all they are giving. So anyone that flew in the United States and have an I-94, this law does not concern you. So the first requirement for this law is that you come here to the United States without being admitted or paroled. You come here somehow illegally, you are not admitted, you are not paroled. That's number one. Number two, you must have come 10 years ago. There are so many people coming in right now through the southern border, right? Those people are not concerned. They are not part of this law. You must have come 10 years ago. If you come 9 years ago, you are not part of it. That does not take you into consideration. You must have been here 10 years prior to the time that the law was announced. That's condition number two. Condition number three, you must be married to a U.S. citizen. You must be married to a U.S. citizen. There are people who have been here 20 years ago, 30 years ago, who have children here. The children are U.S. citizens and they are more than 21. Those children cannot do anything for you. The law did not take into consideration people who have children here. It only concerns those who are married to a U.S. citizen. I had somebody who called me and said, "Oh, I've been married before." No, you must be currently married to a U.S. citizen. She said, "Oh, I married a U.S. citizen before." No. You must be married to your U.S. citizen. Now, and finally, you must be married to your U.S. citizen spouse before the law was announced. So the law was announced in June. I believe it was June 17. If you got married on June 17, I don't think you would be concerned. So it must be before that. So I believe from June 17. If you got married on June 18, you cannot benefit from this law. So now, the last category of people who can benefit from this law are stepchildren of U.S. citizens. What does that mean? So you see, the children are not concerned. Of course, children of U.S. citizen technically is a U.S. citizen, so there is no problem with that. A spouse of a U.S. citizen who have had children prior to marrying that U.S. citizen will benefit from it. The children of that spouse will benefit from it. So that means that spouse who is an alien, who is not a U.S. citizen, and his children that he had prior to marrying the U.S. citizen will also be would benefit from this law. So, again, to recap this, the law does not concern all the people who do not have the paper here. And what it's essentially giving them is just the Form I-94 that they are missing, a parole that will replace the I-94. That's number one. Number two, those who have been given that must be here, must enter the United States without being admitted or paroled, and also they must have come 10 years prior, and they must be a spouse of a U.S. citizen, and they must have been married before June 17, 2024, when the law was announced. So finally, when you get the I-94, then when your parole in place is approved, you can now move ahead and continue your green card process, your adjustment of status. So what is blocking you from adjusting your status with your spouse? That's what they are removing from you, and then they are allowing you to move forward. So you cannot submit both cases together. You have to wait until your parole in place application gets approved before you can then move forward to adjust your status. You cannot do both forms at the same time. No, you have to wait until your PIP gets approved. And lastly, finally, you must not have a criminal record. If you have a criminal record or you have had some issue with immigration, that's an entire different thing that you must clear different way. So you cannot have a criminal record and benefit from this. That will be all for today. We just want to make sure that everybody understand what this new law President Biden put into place, so that we can know exactly who are concerned by this. It's not for everybody. Thank you so much, and you can share it with those you think will benefit from this. Okay, see you later.